I have provided a folder for your onomatopoeia project. Rename the last name I Project O2 folder to use your last name and your first initial. Open the folder. It contains a project file which you can use. If you already have a project file that you have made, go ahead and use that. But if you haven't, I've provided you with a project file that is already set up. Now, I'm going to open up this one myself. You will use the one that has lab 20315X at the end, because that will work in our lab. This one is provided in case you have the updated version at home and you want to work on it at home. I'm going to rename this with my last name and my first initial. Now, if you had one already set up, then just continue with that one. But otherwise, we can open this and start working on it here. So open it up. And you can see that I already have the output comp set and everything. I'm going to organize all of my assets now into these folders. So I have audio. I'm going to put the audio into the audio folder. So I'm going to drag all these into the audio folder. I'm going to bring all of my flat images and put them into my flat images folder. I'm going to bring all of my PSD AI files, including my poster files, into my layered PSD AI folder. And I'm going to see if I have anything left. No, that seems to be everything. Okay, so now I can go into my project file and I'm going to rename my output comp. So I have to press return. I've got it selected up here in the project window, and I'm going to press return, and I'm going to change the name so that it has my last name and my first initial. And I'll press return again, and you see that that is now reflected down here in the timeline. I'm going to right click in the gray area so I can import, and I'm going to import all of the audio files. I'm going to import all of my audio files as footage, and then I can drag them directly into this folder that I have created that's empty, that says audio files. Now it has all of my audio files in it, so I can keep them separate, find them quickly. I'm going to Command S to make sure it's saved. Right click in the project window and import my poster files, one at a time. So I have to go back to the PSD AI. I'm going to import them one at a time as composition retain layer sizes, and I'm going to make sure that the Photoshop sequence is not clicked. I don't want to have a check mark here because then it will bring it in as one frame and you can't change that once you've done that as a sequence. So anytime it sees a number at the end of a file name, it assumes that you have a sequence of frames that you want to occur as one frame at a time. And that's not what we're doing right now. So we want to make sure that we check that always to make sure we haven't got a sequence in when we import. And I'm going to make sure it still says composition retain layer sizes, and I'm going to say OK. And now I can take this and put it into my compositions folder. I'm going to put my folder that has all the layers in it in there as well. I'm going to do that for the other poster files. So for each poster file, I'm going to do that. I'm going to composition, retain layer sizes, check the sequence box, open it, say OK, and move it into the compositions folder. Okay, so now I have all of my compositions in here. This is my output comp. I don't know how long my compositions are right now, so I'm going to have to check that, but I can always fix whatever there is. There's several ways to make them the right length, of course. So I'm going to open this up, and it's now 25 seconds. I don't want it that way, so I go to Composition, Composition Settings, and I'm going to change the length that it lasts down to, I'm going to say 5 seconds. So I'm going to have 5 seconds for each of these, and then I can always change that as I get further into it. Once I see how long I want it to be, and then I can adjust the length of time that the actual output composition is running as well. Okay, so now I have poster 1, poster 2, and poster 3. And that's all ready. I'm going to File, Save. And now I can do whatever I want to with it.